They do look a bit mangled. Chocolate.
I think the shine has gone from them.
Yeah.
Still tasty, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure.
I can start or I can...
Sure.
Wait. Thank you, Pascal, for your session. I jotted a few thoughts down on some of the content that pieces that I experienced and saw that I thought you did a good job on conveying. At the beginning of the session, I understood clearly that you were connecting the CSI to the learning to learn, and I also understood the sort of rules or the ground rules of this session. That set the framework for me, and so I felt comfortable at the beginning of the session. I think following that, you engaged the group, and so you were encouraging us to think, etc., about the change style indicator and then the learning to learn. As you asked us the questions about what does CSI mean to us, I expected a little bit more explanation from you about what the CSI instrument was to help promote further discussion. But I did not hear that at the time. Then I really enjoyed the connection you made between the change piece of the CSI and the learning to learn. That was a nice connection, and I liked the use of your proverb that gave food for thought. Definitely food for thought. If I look at something which I personally experienced as a little uncomfortable, was when we were doing the two flip charts, the learning to learn and the CSI, you asked individuals by name for their input rather than waiting for them to give the input. And for me, I felt like I was on the spot. And even though I'm a high E, I was trying to get out of my head from lunchtime conversations, and I was trying to think, but I personally felt on the spot. I knew I was going to say something, but I think I would have preferred a few more moments to think at that time. I enjoyed the two activities, and I thought they had purpose and connected to what we were talking about regarding learning, etc. And just from a positioning standpoint, I don't know if you were aware, but where you were standing, you actually blocked half of the screen with your slides. And I actually was going to ask you to put the slide back up, because I couldn't see the left side of the slide. I could see the right-hand side. Just a minor thought, but I know we are very tight for space up there. But it was just for you to be aware that it was sort of just blocking a little, and of course I was in the corner.
Maybe I could go next, if that's okay. I just didn't see right away that to interrupt your word. I pretty much agree to those positive sides too. What Nikki shared with you, I really immensely appreciated your structure, and it was very creative. And for instance, when she explained the change, I also like the way he wrote it over 2 papers to synergize them. Many really comments similar. I really thought you were very genuine, very credible about your knowledge. You felt comfortable with yourself. You really, well, for me it was less bothering in my mind that he called names, because I used to it in my educational system in Croatia, but maybe it's also some kind of cultural issue. So I just meant to say, for me, for instance, that was not too much. If you called my name, that didn't bother me personally. Task management, time management, I mean, all very best. I mean, you were on time, everything was there. I really am struggling to say, well, I would say also that maybe, this coverage of the screen that I noticed that you could just watch for next time when you do presentations with a beamer, but I know the room is also very tight and very narrow. Improvisation capabilities, certainly, I mean, you improvised with our material, what we contributed to you, and you, like a conductor, brought everything together.
Strong image.
Very, very original. Well, as you said yourself, just if you would introduce also after we brainstormed, just in your also own words, few words, the different types or styles of change styles. Pretty much. Well done.
Okay, I follow. Thanks for the clean presentation. In comparison with mine, has been clear in the content when you explain it, or you were asking us to give us ideas to put our knowledge in action. I like the eye contact you have been doing with all of us, the eye contact, and to me understanding the point you wanted to present us was clear. Okay. A weak point to me has been that I was perceiving like being pressured, like questioning things constantly, and maybe it's a different type of rhythm of using time or style, personality, but to me. My perception was that you were asking too much and giving too little after the first explanation. That was impression to me, and I went on very well with the two games you gave us. They were relevant, and give the group the time to ask for clarification and so on. And again, connected another weak point connected with my own style could be a kind of monotone in talking, using words, very slow, very low to me. I mean, in terms of my culture pattern. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I like the clarity of the introduction. It was very clear what it was about, what you wanted to achieve, and what the rules were to be for us. For me personally, that you asked the questions was okay. I felt engaged. I could imagine also from the reaction of the others that talking about different learning styles, just some people need some more time to think before that, so you might want to wait a little bit longer. But generally the asking of questions, I thought that worked well to really elicit all the conclusions from us and making us see the connection between the different modules and making us see the learnings, the outcomes of what we experienced. In a way, a little bit forcing us to see it or to express what we learned from it. But to me, that worked well. With the story that first of all, the visualization to me worked well. It was all very clear how you use the different media. And then with the story that you told us with the person sitting next to the tree, that created some tension in a positive sense. That I wanted to know what happened and what you were pointing at. And yes, often you make your points by using examples and experiments, so a very experiential exercise, like you said it was going to be, to really feel it and sense it. So maybe that addresses different types as well of people who have more of a visual approach and others who have more of a sensual approach, touching. So that all worked really well. one thing was the energy level. Sometimes I felt your voice was a little low. I would have liked a little more energy or input from your side, energy-wise, voice-wise, and also a little bit more input on top of what we said. So afterwards, otherwise, I mean, I thought you created a lot of learning for us. That was my feeling, a lot of learning and outcome. But it's also nice for a trainer if the group doesn't think, oh, we did it all by ourselves. If you were also visible in the end, that we feel, yes, that's something that Pascal did or that he said. Is that clear what I mean? I think the outcome is really very useful and very rich, the outcome. But for you personally, I think it's important that you also, at the end, people remember you as well in there, as well as a person. And it was a little bit to me like behind all the good media and everything and all the ideas, you were a little bit invisible. So a little bit more energy input, quantity-wise and energy-wise, would be helpful for participants to remember this, to relate this to Pascal as the trainer.
Another thing that occurred to me, it's also nice, or maybe it's just my vision or how I was trained to ask question and answer still at the end from the participants. I will just add that as a constructive feedback also from my side. You know, when you're finished with everything, just to see if there are from our side maybe any questions or concerns or points still. Just, I don't know, maybe just have a some training.
Kind of Q&A?
Yeah, just
session?
2 minutes.
Good. Any questions from your side?
No.
All clear?
It was all clear.
Okay.
And I take notes
Right.
of everything.
Alright, it was a lot of fun. You delivered it.
Yes.
Fun.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you very much. Stop this.